Hello and welcome back to the Premier League preview on my channel. We have got a tiny Premier League preview this week as it is the FA Cup weekend. Always a big weekend. I think we're at the quarter-finals now of the FA Cup, but we won't dwell on the FA Cup for any longer and how Chelsea could progress to the semis. So, this week is obviously only 4 games, but that doesn't mean there won't be any excitement. Tonight we have Leeds versus Fulham, or Fulham versus Leeds should I say. Saturday, just the one game in Brighton versus Newcastle, a relegation battle there. And then we also have West Ham versus Arsenal, and Leeds United versus Tottenham Hotspur. So those are the games for this week. There's not a lot really going on, but there are some big games in the fights for Europa League, Champions League, and of course the relegation battle. If you are new around here, be sure to like and subscribe. We are marching on to 200 subscribers. We absolutely smashed 150 subscribers on my last stream, so I would greatly appreciate the help if we can start moving towards that 200 milestone. So we won't be looking at a certain player to watch this week. I think with the amount of teams, it's kind of hard to pick a player to watch from, maybe each of the games it'd end up being. So we are actually going to focus on the most important game, in my opinion, this weekend. And the reason it is the most important game is because Tottenham Hotspur need to turn around their season, and so do Aston Villa. As they turn around their season, Spurs have lost 2 on the bounce now against, I believe it was Dynamo Zagreb in the Europa League, and losing last weekend in the North London derby with Eric Lamela being sent off. For Aston Villa, I've got 2 players to watch this week. The reason I've chosen 2 is because they both play a similar role, and I'm not sure really which will start. They might both start together. So the players I'm looking at here is Morgan Sanson and Ross Barkley. The reason I've chosen Ross Barkley is this season Ross Barkley hit the ground running at Aston Villa, and we thought maybe we've got the Ross Barkley back that we know has the talent. And in recent games, he's sort of not really had a sniff in. The last 3 or 4 games, he's been a substitute. And I think it's a massive game for Ross Barkley to get his foot back in the door in the first team and get himself back into that matchday squad, especially with Jack Grealish out injured. You would have thought someone with the creative abilities of Ross Barkley would have been able to fill in that role of Jack Grealish. I think Ross Barkley might be a little bit low on confidence, but the whole of Aston Villa's team at the moment are low on confidence. That's what happens when you lose your leader. The reason I've chosen him with Morgan Sanson is they both play in centre midfield. It could be argued that Morgan Sanson is more defensive, but I sort of see them as a similar role, especially with Ross Barkley's ability to play in that midfield and charge up the field and come back and defend. So the reason I've chosen Morgan Sanson is I think we were all expecting big things when we saw the signing of Morgan Sanson in January, and it's not really materialised in any way, shape or form. I think they need some big performances from him, especially when you've got people out injured and you've got a smaller squad. He's been playing a lot recently, and we all know the talent is there. I just think against the Spurs side, he could dominate the midfield, especially without that extra threat up front of Heung Min Son, which they no longer have, and Eric Lamela is also out, so Spurs are going back down their pecking order of players they have. Moving on to Spurs, we will preview some of the Spurs players. Obviously, we know there was a massive shock knockout. FIFA legend Orsic knocked out, he didn't personally, but he did score a hat-trick, so I guess you can say that. But his team, Dynamo Zagreb, knocked out Spurs. I think it's important that Spurs get back into the flow of things. I did say that I thought they were going to finish 5th this season. I still, at the moment, stick by that. I think they've got plenty of talent in that squad. But the reason I've chosen to speak about this game is that lack of Heung Min Son. The reason I think it's important is who is going to step up in that role. And I think that player will be Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura is a fantastic professional. He has been so consistent across the last few years, and last season we saw a completely different player. This weekend that will be vitally important. Someone needs that link up with Harry Kane. Someone needs that almost telepathic communication which Kane and Son have, and someone needs to find that with him, because if they don't, they will struggle this weekend. Last weekend, Matt Doherty looked a little bit exposed at right back, so it'll be interesting to see what Jose Mourinho does there, to see if he swaps it around to try and get a different player in, because we all know the quality of Matt Doherty. We saw it at Wolves for the best part of 2 seasons in the Premier League, and we know he's a fantastic footballer, but last weekend was not his best, and that was because of Gareth Bale's lack of tracking back. So my player to watch is Lucas Moura. I think he is probably the player likely to step up into that Heung Min Son role. He has started to get on the goal sheet. He has started to get in the score sheet in recent weeks as well, and I think that good run of form, if he can maintain it this weekend, could be vital to Tottenham Hotspur. Anyway, you guys let me know, what do you think the score predictions are going to be for this weekend, specifically Aston Villa and Spurs. I know a few of you have ties to Aston Villa, and I also have a few ties to Spurs, so it'll be interesting to see you guys get a bit of a debate going forward. If you have enjoyed, like I said at the beginning, be sure to smash that subscribe button. I did say this at the beginning, but can never say it too many times. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on my next video. Cheers!